Hey, this is Joe, PV Trader, and today I want to go through the steps of moving your Metamask wallet that's on your computer over to a hardware wallet, specifically the Ledger device. The reason for this is that Metamask is an excellent web-based or browser-based wallet that lets you interact with all different kind of DeFi projects, but by its very nature being web-based, that also means your private keys and your seed phrase that makes your private keys are stored within the browser and exposed to the internet. So if you click on the wrong website, you interact with the wrong token, you go through some, say, scam, all of that is going to be trouble for your wallet, because once they get access, or even if they hack your computer and get in, they're going to wipe out all your assets and leave you with nothing in your wallet. To avoid that, we want to get your seed phrase, specifically your private keys, off the internet and onto a hardware wallet. If you already are in DeFi, chances are you're going to have assets that you cannot withdraw, and they're going to be in certain things like, for example, nodes. I can claim my rewards here, but I can't go and withdraw all the nodes that I've created. I can only claim the rewards. Same thing for Detonator. I deposit LPs. I cannot take them out. They're locked. I can claim my rewards. So if you start with a brand new seed phrase, which is actually the best method for a hardware wallet, because those keys are generated offline with an offline seed phrase, that's going to be the safest. However, a lot of people are going to fall in the bucket where they say, hey, I need to access everything that I had in my old MetaMask wallet. And that's where the migration method comes in really handy. So assuming you have a uncompromised MetaMask wallet, this is the time to do it. If you wait, when it's too late, you can't go back and fix it. So the best time to get a hardware wallet is yesterday. The second best time is today. So over here, go back home. We'll see I have MetaMask in here. Doesn't matter if you have one account, or in my case, I have multiple accounts under here. They will all carry over with that seed phrase. Your seed phrase is going to be stored within your MetaMask. If you go under Settings and Security, Reveal Recovery Phrase or Secret Recovery Phrase. You put in your password, and it's going to show you your 12 words to generate that the private keys. I'm not going to put it in for security reasons. I don't want anyone to see it, and you shouldn't let anyone see yours. In fact, you should already have your 12 words saved on a piece of paper, in a notebook, stored somewhere safe. That way, if you ever had a computer crash, or you're trying to do what we're doing and migrating your wallet, you have it offline. When you put this in, it's going to say, do you want to copy to clipboard or save as a file? Don't do that, because again, you do not want that stored anywhere in the computer that someone can access later and take your assets. Once they have your seed phrase, whether it's on a Ledger hardware device, web browser, they can restore it on their end and take all your funds. So you have to protect that. Is definitely paramount here. So go ahead and put it in if you don't know what your 12 words are, and then copy them down on a piece of paper. Once you're done, hit cancel. From here, we're going to connect our Ledger device. I happen to have a Ledger Nano X. They all work the same as far as the setup. And just connect the cable. And let me just pop up a video here so you can see. Okay, so just click it and you'll get the welcome screen. Just navigate through. Your device might be a little different, but it's going to have two buttons and work the same way. What we're going to do is we're going to look for Restore Recovery Phrase. Again, we're using the 12 words from our current MetaMask account. Hit both buttons to accept. We have to choose a PIN. I'm going to do simply 1, 2, 3, 4 for this demonstration. Obviously, pick something a little more complex than that on your end. Enter it again. Okay, it's going to connect. Enter your recovery phrase. We have to tell it how many words. Metamask is 12. Navigate down, select 12. Then go ahead and enter the first word and do that for all 12. You just scroll through, pick the letter. As you go through, it's going to limit because it knows it can only be so many combinations. If that's not your word, just scroll through. Let's say shop is my first word. Hit enter with both buttons to accept, and then go ahead and go on to the second word. It's the same process. Do it for all 12. I'm going to pause it here. We're going to fast forward, and then we'll continue once I'm done. Okay. We're going to leave this for now. What you have to do from here is go ahead and download Ledger Live. You need that app because it acts as a bridge to MetaMask. And we're going to set up a new MetaMask account. That's actually going to be a dummy account because it won't have any assets, but it also will not have our original seed phrase. It'll have a brand new one that we'll use to interact with DeFi, just like we did before, but now the assets will be on the hardware wallet. So go ahead to Ledger Live. I already have it installed, but you're basically going to go to go to Ledger, Apps and Services, Ledger Live, download for your operating system. I'm using Windows. Save it. Once it's done, go ahead and install it. I already did, so I'm just going to pull up this screen. Your MetaMask is still connected. It doesn't have anything, any of the settings other than your seed phrase is restored on there. So go ahead and hit get started. Accept the terms. I have the X. That's the one I recommend because this fall, Ledger has partnered up with MetaMask to allow MetaMask Mobile to connect with Ledger Nano X using Bluetooth. Currently, that does not work, but it will be here soon. So if you need the flexibility of using your MetaMask on the go and you want a hardware wallet protection, this is the way to do it. It's the only one that has the Bluetooth. The other two are great. If you're just using it for PC use, laptop use, you can get the Nano S or the Nano S Plus. Today, we're setting up the X. Process is the same for both. Okay, we're not doing a new Nano. We're actually going to connect an existing because we already put the recovery phrase in. Continue. It's going to do a check to make sure it's authentic. You should only buy the hardware wallet directly from the manufacturer, in this case, Ledger. So go ahead and hit Ledger Manager Accept here. Great, it passed the test. Continue. Now, you may have multiple assets. So I just showed you EMP money. I have things in the farm, detonator, nodes, boardroom, for example. Whether you have EMP tokens, whether you have LP tokens, you can have pancake tokens, we have BNB. All that does not matter because it's all stored within our seed phrase. But what we need to install to make it work is going to be Ethereum. So we have to add an Ethereum account. That one Ethereum account will work with all the assets. It just uses your Ethereum account and the Ethereum connection to allow you to use it as a bridge. So add account. Again, the only one you need, doesn't matter what you have, it's just Ethereum. Go ahead and hit continue. This will just take a minute or two to load up. It's actually installing the Ethereum app onto your Ledger hardware device. Okay, once installed, hit open. It'll reconnect or resync your MetaMask account. If you have multiple accounts like I did, you may have more than one Ethereum account that shows up. Don't worry about it. It will put in what it needs. Just ignore the rest at this point. Just let it do its thing. Okay, when done, just hit add account. And done. And now we can see within Ledger Live, it will have some other tokens I might have had on there. It has the Ethereum account. Again, that's all that matters on here. Okay. If you have updates to do, they'll pop up here in Ledger Live. It might say your firmware needs updating, your software needs updating. If you get any of those alerts, go ahead and do that. It's safe. It's within the Ledger Live app. You want to have the most current firmware. You want to have the most current app features to ensure you don't run into compatibility issues. Again, they're always fine-tuning the app when they find bugs or any issues, and this will minimize any complications. All right, now that we know our account is restored, what we have to do is set up a new Metamask account. So we can go ahead and minimize this. Within Metamask itself, we don't need this anymore because it's now on our ledger. So we're going to add extensions and go ahead and click Metamask, remove from Brave. It's the same whether you're using Chrome or any other browser. Once you remove it, it's gone. There's no putting it back and having it. So that seed phrase is really important to save on the side. In our case, we have it saved on paper and we have it on our Ledger device. So from here, you want to go to metamask.io, download it again, add to Brave, add extension. Okay. And now we have a brand new Metamask. We're not going to go with we have a secret recovery phrase because you're creating a brand new account. So you're going to go ahead and hit create a wallet. Put in a password. Accept, create. Okay, this is where you're going to show your secret phrase. I don't care because this is a dummy account. It's not going to hold any assets. And in addition, I'm going to delete this anyways later. But you can write it down if you want. You're not going to put any assets on this account. It's just going to be a conduit or a bridge so you could connect to DeFi projects. All your assets are going to be on the Ledger device. It's going to ask you to go through and put in basically the account again. The seed phrases, I'm just copying it on the other screen so I can put it back in so I can get past this step. Okay, connect, all done. So now we have a brand new MetaMask account. I'm going to click on the plugin. I'm going to hit the pin. That way it's always on the top. As you can see, I only have one account. This does not matter. You don't need to save that. But if you want to go ahead and rename it so that you don't use it by accident, go under account details, change the name. You can call it default, dummy, do not use, whatever you want. Okay, now that we have a brand new MetaMask browser, it's not going to work with EMP money. Well, for two reasons. We don't have any assets in here. We're on the Ethereum mainnet. And the hardware wallet's not connected. So we have to go through that step. So let's go back to our Ledger device and get that ready so that it can connect. Okay, it's going to say ready. We want to go under settings by just scrolling through. Ledger makes it a little confusing. There's two settings on the hardware. One is the main settings and one is actually under the Ethereum account. We have to go under both. So select blind signing. That's basically has to be enabled for the bridge to work. So go ahead and make sure it says enabled. The rest of it you can skip through and just hit back. And now we're back to the main. We can just go to quit. Now we can see our Ethereum count that we added earlier. It just reconnects. What we have to do is go into the Ethereum. It's going to say ready. Press and hold both buttons. And some more settings are going to come up. Under here, Bluetooth. I don't like to have Bluetooth enabled. I'm not using it, so go ahead and disable. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Nope. So I can go ahead and hit close. Okay, now we're ready. What we need to do is go under Metamask, click on the icon, go under settings, under advanced. On the very bottom, there's going to be a couple of options for Ledger. So to begin with, the preferred account is Web HID. That is faster, a couple less steps when you're doing a transaction. It has more problems, and the problems you'll run into is if you don't have your Ledger device set up within Ethereum right here. So if you're just at this screen, you're going to get a failure. You actually have to go in, and then when it says application ready, you want to make sure the screensaver is not on. Then you can conduct a transaction. If you're having problems with this, I always recommend people start with Ledger Live. Once you get used to it, you can switch to Web HID. So for now, we're going to pick Ledger Live. We can X out of here, go back to the icon, and connect hardware wallet. We have a ledger. Continue. Hit open. That connects the bridge. And you can minimize this. Okay, so here are the accounts. What I did was I made a list of my accounts prior so that I can see them. And here they are. So I'm just going to leave that to the side. Yours will be different, so it doesn't matter what I have. But basically, you're going to go in and select all the accounts that match up. You can see that I'm on Ledger Live right now. If you don't see your account, it's because it's on Ledger Live. Your seed phrase was made by Metamask. So if it's not there, you would just want to switch your HD path to this BIP44 Metamask Trezor. And then you'll start to recognize your accounts. You gotta hit open again. Again, minimize it so you can see. So here I go. I know this one's mine. Basically, you can see the assets in it, but yours may or may not have assets. All right, I'm going to select these 4. If you have more, just hit next, and the next 5 will pop up. Hit unlock. All right, let's see how we're looking. All right, we have our original dummy that we created with our new seed phrase. And now you can see it says Ledger next to it, and actually named it Ledger. But when you see that little icon, that means it's using MetaMask but connected to the Ledger hardware wallet. So go ahead and go in. You can rename these if you want. Click on the accounts. It's going to pop up over here, and you can go ahead and just go in like this. Account details. Rename it. Let's call this one Joe PV. Oops. All right, and you can do that for each of your accounts, and then you'll know that it's set up, and you'll be able to recognize them a little bit easier. Because this is brand new, we don't have any other networks. You can go ahead and add a network. If you've done this before, you can pull it up again and get all the info. I'm going to cheat. Go to EMP. This doesn't always work with everything. Can hit refresh. It's going to say, hey, you're on the wrong network. EMP uses Binance Smart Chain. I can go ahead and pick the accounts I want. You can select all of them or pick one at a time. I'm not using the dummy account, so I uncheck that. Next, connect. Here's a little summary of the network setup. Approve it, and it will go ahead and switch. Because we just switched, we're going to have to hit refresh again. And now you can see my assets are back. And if I click on this, you can see I have my account here. If I wanted to switch, say, to a different one, you can just simply go right in, say Ledger 5. I think that's what I had originally. And if it doesn't work, you can hit refresh. It did work, but just to show you. And now let's do a test. The real important thing is that your ledger is unlocked and says ready. Okay, otherwise, if this has a pin or screensaver, it's not going to work. You can go ahead and on the ledger change the settings so it doesn't time out so quickly. But before you do a transaction, make sure it's just on app ready. If you are using that web, and we'll do it both ways just so you can see. Remember again, under settings, advanced, go down to the bottom. This Ledger Live, if you have Web HID, you got to make sure that you're on the Ethereum app. So we're just going to leave it now on Ledger Live. We're going to go, say, into our nodes, and we're going to claim these 1400 EMPs. So go ahead and hit claim. Metamask acts the same way. Hit confirm. Make sure you check the gas and everything is good. Once it does, Ledger Live is going to pop up. You hit open. It says review. Just scroll through to accept. Click both buttons. You can minimize the screen. Give it a few seconds. And there you go. It's claimed. Sometimes you have to hit refresh. That's just the way it works. There's a little delay. And now you can see my EMP rewards have reset to 0, and I've already accumulated some more. Now, this uses Ledger Live, which is fine. If you want to switch and do the Web HID, go ahead and click on Settings, Advanced. Go down here to, sorry about my mouse, Web HID. It's going to warn you if you're using Ledger Live is open, you got to close it, disconnect it, because you don't have to have this open anymore. So I'm going ahead and close this. And this is the important part. You got to make sure you're under Ethereum. Double click it. Now that you're in, you can go ahead and claim again. So say I want to claim 86 cents, or basically 3 EMP. Hit claim rewards. And again, my ledger is closed. Ledger Live app, continue. You can see nothing popped up, but right away it says review. So it's just a little bit faster. Hit accept. Give it a few seconds. Boom, it's approved. It's that simple. Just to show you under Ledger, what I mean is your assets are safely stored on your seed phrase. Ledger Live app has nothing to do with this as far as what your token holds. It just shows you what Ledger supports. So when I open this, we know I claimed EMP, but you can see EMP is not on the list. I can't go under accounts here, excuse me, and add it, because if I do, it's not going to be in the list. And it doesn't matter, because your wallet doesn't really hold your coins. It basically gives you access to the blockchain to interact with the tokens that you hold. So this really doesn't have much use when you're using it as a hardware wallet connected to Metamask. It just acts as the bridge. And you can see here I have an update. You can go ahead and download that update and install it like I encouraged you to do earlier. Because I already had it open, it didn't pop up. but this update must have just came out in the past 24 hours. So you just want to keep it up to date. It's not going to hurt anything. And that's it. So hopefully that helps everyone. If you have any questions, just let me know. Happy trading.